In this video, I'm going to do the channel plate. I have the sheet layout opened up. I'm going to go to the rectangle tool, click off to the right, relative input with the @ sign, X in 1.5, comma, Y is 1.25. You're going to notice with this drawing, or this part, that it's very small compared to our sheet layout. So what we're going to do later on, I'll talk about it, we're going to scale this up. But let's draw it to full size currently. So we'll get started. We have this rectangle 1.5 by 1.25 inches. And I'm going to introduce a new tool to you. And that tool is going to be found on the Modify Tool panel. And you can drop down, you're going to see Fillet, Chamfer, Blend Curves. We're going to use the Chamfer tool. And if you read what it says, it bevels the edges of objects. So take a look at that picture there. It'll clip the corners, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to click on it. And down in our options on the command line, we're going to go to the Angle option. Click on Angle. But at first, it wants us to specify the chamfer length on the first line. So we're going to clip this corner here. And the length, according to the drawing, is 0.25. So we're going to type in 0.25 1/4 inch, hit enter. Then it says specify chamfer angle from the first line. So I have it set to 45, but you would type 45 and hit enter. Now we're going to click this line, and notice what just happened. It clipped and chamfered that corner on a 45 degree, which is 1/4 inch from this corner point. Okay, so I'm going to do that all around on all 4 corners. So I'll hit spacebar real quick, and it'll go back to my last command. All the settings should remain the same. Spacebar, click, click, spacebar, click, and click. So now I chamfered all 4 corners to a 45 degree angle. Next thing we want to do is build the inside. And I'm going to do that by drawing a line, snap, point to point, move that line down the distance of 0.2. On the left side here, do the same thing, except this one here, we're going to move a distance of 0.3 and hit enter. On the bottom, snap from point to point, and we're going to move that up 0.2. Now on the right hand side, it's a distance of 0.5. So let's move it over 0.5. Okay. Now I'm going to use, we got to clip these corners off, but take note, these corners aren't snapped together. And that's one thing that's nice about this chamfer tool, is it doesn't have to be. So we're going to go back to our same settings, except in here the distance is not 1/4 inch, it's 1/8 inch. So I'm going to type 0.125, hit enter. The angle is the same, 45, so I'll hit enter again. Watch this, I'm going to click here, it joins that together and makes that chamfered corner. That's nice. Click here, and we're good to go there. Now, on this side here, we got to clean this up. So what I'll do is I'll stretch this line up here, stretch this line down here, and then what I need to do is I'm going to draw a line down here, little guideline, and then I'm going to move it up a distance of 0.375, and then copy it 0.5, 1/2 inch. Now, in this case here, it's not touching that line here, this vertical line. We have to drag the geometry back. And once we do that, we can clean this all up now. So we got a lot of trimming. Go to the trim tool, select everything, and come in and clean it all up. Lots of clicking. There we go. That is the channel plate. Not too bad. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to scale this up. But before I do that, we're going to move it and center it up in our drawing first, in our sheet layout. The next thing I want to do is I want to take this channel plate and I want to place it in the sheet layout but I want to center it. I'm going to go to line, draw my diagonal line, and take a look here. Since we don't have any corners, but this is a symmetrical part, I'm going to snap from the midpoint of that line and midpoint of that line, and I should be able to snap to that midpoint, and it will be the center of the object. So that's the key. You just want to make sure you're grabbing the center of the object. So snap the midpoint, bring it over to the center of this drawing, and we're good. So it's all centered up. So take note that the channel plate is very small. When we start putting dimensions on here, those dimensions are going to be very, very small. So we can do something. We have an option. We can scale this drawing up. But when we do that, we need to make sure we change our scale factor down here based on what we scaled this object up. So I'm going to do that. And it's on the Modify tool panel. If I click on here, this is where it says Scale. And notice what the description. Enlarges or reduces selected objects, keeping the proportions of the object the same after scaling. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to select my objects that I'm going to scale. Notice I have my guidelines still on there, and I did that on purpose. So I want to specify a base point. And what's critical here, if you have this placed in the center, you want to make sure you grab the center of the object here so that when you scale it out, that it goes off of that center point. And that's what we want. So I'm going to scale this up a factor of 2, which typing in 2 will double its size. So I'll type in 2, and now look how big it is. All proportions are the same. It's still in the center. So now that I did that, I can delete these guidelines. Okay. Now, right away, let's do this right now just so we don't forget. Down here in our scale, we need to now change this. Instead of 1 inch equals 1 inch, we're going to put down 2 inch equals 1 inch because we doubled its size. So we need to make sure we specify that in our scale on our title block. Okay, that's important. All right, now we could apply dimensions. You can go ahead and go to your linear dimensions, and you're going to find out something here. As I apply my dimensions, you're going to see that it's going to read double the size. So this should read 1.25 inches, 1.25, but it reads 2.5. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to your dimension style. We're going to modify it. Under the primary units tab, drop down where it says measurement scale, scale factor. We want to change this scale factor not to read 1, which would be normal. We're going to have it read 0.5, which is half. So we doubled the size of the geometry, but we want to scale down the measurement so that it reads what we want it to read. So watch this. It changed it to 1.25. Now, when we have it read like that, as long as down in your title block you have it set your scale is doubled what it should be, then that tells the reader that it's scaled up. But this is the true dimension of what it should be. Okay? All right, so I'm going to continue applying my linear dimensions, snap from point to point. Let's see if this 0.25 goes inside. That's the way I'd rather have it, just like that. Now, on these angles, you can drop down. You can do an angular dimension. We can snap from here to here. And let's see if it goes, the 45 goes inside, and it does. So we're good there. So let's keep dropping down through. We'll go around, do my next linear dimension, snap from here to here. That's 0.5. Let's snap from here to here. That's 0.5. Let's snap from here to here. And that should be 0.375. Now this is going to be tough to fit this 45 in here. Let's see if it fits. I might have to do some finagling around. See if it fits. Put that in there. And it does fit. It's a little crowded here. I might want to move this out some. So if I do that, then I'll move this one and snap these arrowheads together. Okay. All right, let's keep going around. I do want to put a dimension here in the middle for my 0.2. Just manipulate that, make that go inside. We'll do the same thing up above here. Let's put our 0.2 in there. So that's all good. Let's continue. Put some linear dimensions down here at the bottom. Let's go 1.25 here. Let's go our overall. Should be dropping down. Now this is what I don't like. I'm going to want to move this 45. I don't want it to touch that line. So don't just drop dimensions and leave them there. You need to go around and manipulate them to make sure that they look good and they're not touching the lines that they shouldn't. So let me go ahead and put an angular line in here, angular dimension rather. Same thing, that 45. Let's see if it'll drop inside of there, and it does. A little tight there, might want to move that out. Let's do a linear dimension for our 1/8 inch here. Now this is where I'm going to have to change this around. Put 1/8 inch in here. Like I said, this is a very small object. Move this in a little closer. So that you might have to do some finagling around to get things to look decent. Okay. What I don't like, and I'm probably not going to be able to fix this, is this angle leader touching that object line. It'd be nice if we had enough room to get that out of there, but I don't think we do. So let's continue. Snap from here to here. Let's drag that out. Put that 0.25 down inside of there. And let's go up. Snap from here to here. Snap that out. Make sure we do an overall height. Drag that out, 1.25. A couple other dimensions that I skipped over here. Let's put in here, 0.25. And let's put this inside of here. Let's take a look. All right, a few more dimensions here. I need this 0.3. Let's go to linear, snap inside of here, and let's make that 0.3. Let's drag it out. Make sure you click and drag these things to where they look decent. Like I said, a lot of dimensions on here. It's hard to even see the object, but you do need these dimensions in order to have this thing built. So 0.125 is right here. I don't think this will fit in here. Well, maybe it does. Drag that around, and let's go ahead and make the angled dimension here. Snap from here to here, go up on a 45. And let's see if that 45 snaps inside. Like I said, drag this up and around. Try to make room for this stuff. 45 went back out. Okay. All right, so that looks good. Update your title block text. Call this the channel plate. Move it and center it. Let's change this to CH1-4. Remember, our scale is 2 inch equals 1 inch. Change your period to whatever period you're in. Change your date. And that's the channel plate. So let's go ahead and save it. Let's go to cancel out of that. Go to File, Save As. Make sure you're on File, Save As. Let's go to channel plate underscore last name. Save it. Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching.